Hi, hello, shalom, my name is Haley Beckel and I'm on so many antibiotics right now and I feel great. So today we're going to be talking about Lord Byron. I'm sure you've heard of him in some English class from high school, middle school, college, wherever. He was a weird dude. So let's get started. So Lord Byron, also known as George Gordon Byron, was born on January 22nd, 1788 on Holles Street in London, England. He was the son of Captain John Byron, also known as Jack, and his second wife, Catherine Gordon, the heiress of the Guyte estate in Aberdeenshire, Scotland. So Lord Byron's dad was actually previously married to another lady named Amelia, the Marchioness of Carmarthen, but the relationship was kind of scandalous because Amelia was married already. Just weeks after she divorced her husband, the two of them got married, not to mention that she was 8 months pregnant. So they had 3 babies, 2 of which died. And the last one, Augusta Mary, ended up surviving, but Amelia died almost a year after she gave birth to her 3rd child, probably from tuberculosis. So then, as we said before, Jack met Catherine and they had Byron. The problem was that Jack was never really around, so much so that Catherine named her son after her father George instead of Jack. And the couple separated not long after, but Jack continued to borrow money from Catherine, and he took so much from her that she was in debt. So then he goes to France and he dies, probably of tuberculosis. And Byron didn't exactly like his mother. He said that he was disgusted by her drinking habits and would often mock her girthy appearance. She was so big that it was hard for her to catch him and discipline him when he ran away from her, which is interesting to hear because Byron apparently had a deformed right foot. Now, as for education, Byron began learning at grammar school, but his mother would often interfere with his studies and withdraw him from school. He was described as an undistinguished student and an unskilled cricket player. Later, he went on to Trinity College, where he engaged in a fun little combination of sexual escapades, boxing, horse riding, and gambling. He also wrote a bunch of poetry during this time. So while doing his thing in college, Byron racks up a hefty amount of debt to his mother. And he does what any young boy would do and escapes to Europe. He goes on the Grand Tour, which is a thing where upperclassmen would traditionally go around Europe for like a year or something like that. And he may or may not have taken on a few lovers during this trip, but we'll get into that in a minute. So after he's done with his Europe trip, he goes back home to England and he writes a bunch more poems. But that's boring, so let's talk about his lovers. So Byron kind of had a thing for his cousins. It began with his distant cousin Mary Duff when he was only 8 years old. Then there was Margaret Parker, who was also a distant cousin of his and his caretaker. And she allegedly made sexual advances towards him when he was 9. He even had an affair with Lady Caroline Lamb, who never really got over him. He also had a thing for his half-sister Augusta, and is rumored that her 3rd child was his. But it wasn't just women that he took interest in. There was also a French-Greek man by the name of Nicolas Gerard. And he eventually tried to settle down with Lady Caroline's cousin, Anne Isabella Milbank, but they got into a messy divorce. Okay, so back to our story. Byron comes home, he gets into it with a bunch of ladies, has a kid or 2, files for separation from his wife, and racks up a lot more debt. And at this time, he's like, England freaking sucks. I'm gonna go abroad again. So he does, and he meets 2 more ladies, both married in Venice. But that doesn't last long, and he writes more stuff and then goes to Rome. Here he meets another lady, and he marries her. And then he goes to Pisa and finds more writer friends, such as Mary Shelley. You know, Frankenstein. But Mary Shelley drowns. So then he goes to Greece and he does some political stuff. He joins forces with Greek politician Alexandros Mokoravadis and helps them raise money for a revolution. He even adopts a 9-year-old Turkish Muslim girl named Hato. But then things get weird because Byron starts pursuing a 15-year-old page boy by the name of Lucas Chalandrosantros. He was basically Lucas's sugar daddy. So anyways, Byron and his Greek politician friend make plans to attack a Turkish fortress called Lepanto. But before they can set sail, Byron gets really sick. He somehow recovers, but catches a really bad cold. So they try to fix him with bloodletting, but that just ends up making things way worse. The unsanitary treatment causes him to get sepsis, and he dies from a violent fever on April 19th, 1824 in Greece. Some people say that if Byron had lived and gone on to defeat the Ottomans, he would have been declared king of Greece. However, some scholars say that that would be very unlikely. And that is the story of Lord Byron. So here we have some spotted dick, which I think is like a bread pudding. Does this look right? I don't know. I'm not British. It smells kind of good, so I guess let's see how it tastes. Oh, also, you were supposed to put custard on here, but I didn't really have the ingredients for that, so we're just gonna have it dry. Cheers. Oh, that's weird. Oh, I don't know if I like that. Ooh, British people, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it would be better if you actually had like a custard or something. Maybe I made it too dry. I don't know. It's kind of, it's weird. I don't know. Maybe the raisins is just, that's what's doing it to me, where I'm kind of like, ugh, what is that? You know? I'm gonna leave this as a maybe. Like, would I take another bite? Maybe. Would I finish it? Probably not. And that is it for now. If you enjoyed this, please let me know. If you did not enjoy this, please let me know. If you have any other food related video content that you want me to try, please let me know. Bye-bye.